Here's a unique arrangement that I didn't expect. This is Artemisia, also known as Wormwood, and some people call it Old Man. I don't know how I got the name Old Man. It looks very useful to me, but I love the color of the leaf. And this one must be about to flower too. When it flowers, it grows tall. So you see, this part decided to hang down instead of its normal low growing format like that. When it flowers, it gets tall. I don't know if it ever goes back to being these short ones that I'm accustomed to, which is why I grow it. So it has become a spiller in my pot, as well as a filler. If I could just figure out a way to get a thriller to survive in my pots. I keep on trying to grow a rosemary here, and I'm giving up now. Thankfully, the Old Man has covered her. And for flowers here, I have my Pelargorum. This is the ivy leaf. This is the toughest for sunny conditions. It has these thick, waxy leaves that are able to deal with drought and all of that. It didn't like the sun. This actually was out in that spot in the sun, and it grew over into the shade of this plant and just began with the flowers peeking out. I was like, okay, I got it. You don't want a whole lot of sun, no problem. But I only water it when I think about it, or once a week, maybe twice a week tops. This planter is drought tolerant. The Old Man will die back if I don't water it, and it will wilt. It is not wilted now, so it is very happy with the amount of water it is getting. The ivy fern, the leaves look burnt, so I think I got that from a nursery this year. I think it wasn't used to the amount of sun, but thankfully, because it was growing in this pot with wormwood, and everybody says wormwood is not a good companion plant, I beg to differ. I grow wormwood everywhere along with tansy, and both of these are very good companion plants for me in Southern California. They haven't been allopathic, they haven't killed off anything, and I have plants that have taken that move, but these haven't. And in fact, it seems to have saved my ivy pelargorum. I fertilize these in the month of August when I am watering it once a week with fish emulsion. That's it. Nothing fancy. And it's loving it. I see I need to pull off some dead leaves. Come out here. That's probably... this was probably a watering issue. But you know, you don't have to grow all those fancy plants. You can grow some cheap plants that are stately. I grew this from seed. I got the seed from, you know, just any online seed house. I don't want to mention one because, you know, I'm not being paid as a sponsor. So, wormwood. It's a perennial. Look how pretty it is. It looks as fancy as any fancy annual you might get for white color. The only thing is, this one's permanent, and you can grow it in any size pot. It will stay the size of the pot that you put it in. I've grown it in a 4-inch pot for years, and it does fine, and it's drought tolerant in a 4-inch pot. It will stay a small little plant, you know. But if you give it a big pot, it'll stretch out. You can trim it back when you want to. I always let my plants flower, even though the flowers of wormwood are wind pollinated. They are not, no animal pollinates them. This wormwood, the name wormwood exists because it kills insects, you know. But you know, everybody's got a flaw. So it's not a pollinator plant, but I enjoy it. I think it's beautiful. It's cheap plant for your planters. I plant it from seed. It grows fast, like a carrot the first year. And it becomes a cute little mound like this. And I grow it with my various pelargoniums. This one is Ivy League. I grow it with all kinds. I really enjoy it. And I think, you know, wormwood is good in all different kind of zones. I think it dies back if it's cold and comes back each year taller than the last year. You know, pelargoniums obviously you can only put out in your sunny times, but I think you can probably figure out a way to keep them if you're some other place. So just thought I'd run that by you. You know, having a planter without spending hundreds of dollars a year, why not?